Sabir, how is it
Hey.
going, my friends? I am so excited to have you on this call. It has been an incredible journey for you, and I'm very, very happy to be having this conversation so soon. But before we dive into all the nitty-gritty about how well the business is doing, would you mind introducing yourself to everybody and just telling them a little bit about who you are, what it is you do, who it is that you help?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Sabir and I help companies with sales in general, getting leads, closing deals, and also scaling, mostly with IT companies because I come from IT sales background, doing 12 years. And most of my clients, yeah, they are IT and a little bit marketing agencies as well. So I help them to scale their businesses.
This is one of the things I actually found really interesting because you have got a lot of experience when it comes to sales as a whole. But I know this, and I think, some of the other clients that I've brought through this process who have sales backgrounds, it's a very different sales process going from traditional sales to high ticket sales, and that's kind of part of the reason why you wanted to have a conversation in the first place. But I guess really the question that I have for you, Sabir, is before you jumped into iClose Capital, what were some of the problems that you were facing with the sales calls you were taking?
Yeah, very good question. Like I started my business and I was struggling like really long time, because I come from sales. I was thinking like I will sell my products easily, but it was not the case. Info
Mhm.
products are very different. It's my business. People research about me, what I'm doing and stuff. When I was working at other companies, I was just a part of company. So that was the main challenge because I tried everything, man. Like I tried ads, I bought Russell Brunson courses, like not like inner circle or something, but low level.
Mhm.
And I was thinking like I will do everything that they do, but it never, nothing worked. So it was really hard. And then I realized, okay, I need to make some changes, maybe learn from people who already do it.
Mhm.
So that might be best. I actually paid my last money for getting appointments with the Josh, and
Mhm.
he helped me like getting appointments first. And then the second problem was like closing the deals, man. Like pain in the ass. People come, they say, no, I don't buy. And the offer is 5K. Yeah, 5K. They say, yeah, this is a lot of money. Like, yeah, this is the price. Like kind of
And,
like this.
and I think this is something that's important to say as well. You do have quite a high ticket price because it's not just 5K all in, it's
Yeah.
5K on a monthly basis, and you're typically signing people up for 4 months. So you're doing a 20K sell. So I can understand if you haven't got a massive company and thousands of testimonials and worldwide recognition, having those kind of conversations can be difficult. So when it comes to the actual sales process, then where did you find that you were struggling the most? Was it line of questioning, the pitch, the objection handling phase? What did that
Yeah.
look
I watched our recording of call when you actually closed me.
like?
So I see that I didn't know anything like what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong because I was just like frustrated of getting those objections like, hey, work for free, I will see if it works. Like yeah, I was really frustrated and I realized that like small changes, they position me like an authority in the call. Yeah. Like having the right structure, right questions, understanding pain. Like I didn't have a proper structure. I was like going to call asking questions, understand what is the problem, and pitching the solution, but it was not effective. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, with your approach, we went through all the small detail, actually, like every single question. Like I remember you were sitting like 1 hour looking at the questions, and I was like, oh, I'm not patient now. Like we need to finish the call now.
Do
Like
you know what? And
we're
we'll
really
dive into this in more detail. But
yeah,
that
yeah.
was we spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of time on the pitch and the line of questioning. But we'll come back to that in a moment. So you've talked a little bit about some of the objections that you were getting on the call. Obviously, by the sounds of things, one of them was value objection, right? That kept popping up. What were
Awesome.
some of the other main objections that you were getting before you jumped into the product?
Like two objection. I would say like all kind of objections, not partner objections, but mostly like value. They don't see the value. Fear.
Mhm.
Oh, this is a lot of money. Or money objection. Hey, I don't have money, like kind of things. But mostly it was like actually fear and value.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is coming up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. Okay. One thing that I wanted to dive into as well was in terms of making that shift from traditional sales to high ticket sales, where obviously the sales cycle is literally an hour, right? You're meeting somebody for the first time, you're having a conversation, you're trying to close them. From a paradigms perspective, or just from a paradigms perspective, a mindset perspective, what did that look like as well? When you were jumping onto those calls, you had tons of appointments, but you weren't closing. How did that feel?
Yeah, was feeling really bad because like I was closing like 6, 7 figure deals when I was working at companies. And I feel like 5K is nothing actually. Like I should be closing like easier, right?
Mhm.
But it was really hard. Like I see the objections when I come, I was frustrated really fast because I didn't really get why these kind of objections come at all, you know? Like when I was working at companies, like these kind of objections I never saw, you know? Like people either said, "Oh yeah, this sounds good, yeah, this works," or stuff like that. Like less objections and not so intensive like in my case. Because now they research about me, my company and everything, you know, like not certain and yeah, that's why like this was feeling really bad because was having so many appointments and closing rate was like literally zero. Like
Yeah.
I can tell you, like I couldn't sign any client. Like before joining your program, I actually joined because I felt like yeah, we need to do it right now because otherwise, yeah. I was even considering like you know, some extra options, maybe like how to get money in, you know, like I had really financial issues as well. But yeah, it was really great that I joined your program and we started progressing. I'm really grateful for that.
Bro, honestly, I'm so
Yeah.
happy for you.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been long as well. So yeah, fine. When you, because I remember when you first jumped in the business, you didn't have any clients, you weren't making any money. On this note, why is it that you wanted to have a conversation with me specifically? Why is it that you were looking at iClose Capital?
Josh recommended you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I had some clients, but they were not like 5K clients. It
yeah.
was not interesting for me. Um, But Josh told me like, man, you get so many appointments, like you don't close. It's just closing issue. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
I said, like, okay, what do you recommend? Yeah, Jack Rogers.
Yeah.
And then I came to call. I didn't also consider like buying or something, but yeah, you already showed me like a good plan that I thought, no, this is the guy because I was looking like maybe I will look for other services to see what who is offering what. But yeah, I felt like this is the right decision I need to take. Yeah.
Okay. So let's dive a little bit more into where you are right now. So what is your monthly recurring revenue at the moment, Sabir?
Yeah, so we signed just I can tell you like this month we signed like 6 clients
Hmm.
with the 5K offer, which is great. Like now we are scaling, we hire more people. Like we hire right now, like I hired this week like 2 people, and next week I'm planning hire 2 more people
Yeah.
because like really we have like a little bit fulfillment issues, which
Yeah.
is great. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
which makes sense though, because you've only been in the product for like 2 months, two and a bit months. So to have that much growth, like I'm not surprised that you're
crazy.
you're needing to hire
Yeah, yeah.
very, very quickly. Okay, cool. Let's dive into the product side of things then, I guess, in a bit more depth. What would you say are the top three things that really helped you when it came to the product or the coaching side of things?
Yeah, yeah. So you the first point is you know, because first your program is designed really well because you can go every day to calls. Yeah, every day. Like I was coming with question, you know.
Mhm.
I also recommend everyone as well, like when you go to calls, always come with a question. Just every day learn one thing, yeah, and it will help you extremely a lot. So my goal was like going to your call every day and at least ask you one question. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that way I was learning really fast. Watching your calls, doing role plays, like I had enough calls anyway. But the mostly what made a real shift, it was when we changed the pitch. Like
Yeah.
when we literally wrote down the pitch, that was like boom. You know, it took off. But until then, I already saw that good traction too. Like we closed 1 or 2 deals, started closing that with the line of questions and stuff was really good. The structure was really well, you know, it felt really good. But the main point I would say was with the pitch because it was so good, like it is so good pitch that you prepared actually with me in the call that people didn't even have objections. They were
Mhm.
like, oh, they had objections, but they were like, hey, can you please just clear this objection? I want to buy, kind of,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know this, like, yeah. But before it was not like that. It was like, no, no, and then I tried to repeat yes. But in that case was like, wow, this sounds interesting, but I don't have money. Like,
Mhm.
what do you think I should do? You know,
Yeah.
it's a different one, right? Because they look for solution. They are because they are impressed. Yeah. So this was the main changes, I would say. If you say three, like it's hard to limit it. I would say one, your program, how it's structured, your support and everything. Like literally for this price, it's just really like extreme, like 100 times more value
Hmm.
than the price itself. Like I would never think, or maybe like price and stuff. No, because everyday calls, so it's very valuable. Second thing is, I would say that you're providing the value, like you're literally having those calls where you look what exactly we need to change. That's the second thing. And the third thing is, I would say, like all these role plays and everything, which is like just train, train, train. Yeah, that helps extremely a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can hear where you're coming from. And it's really interesting as well on the pitch side of things because I'm a perfectionist, as you probably know
Yeah.
by now, because we sat on that pitch for a long
Yeah.
time to get it right. So I'm so happy to hear that now you're in the position where you're absolutely crushing it. Okay, cool. I've got two more questions I want to ask you before we wrap things up. The first one is a bit, if somebody was sitting on the fence, right? Maybe they jumped onto a sales call. Maybe they haven't even jumped onto a sales call yet. They're just watching the testimonials, the case studies, and they're not sure whether or not this would be the right thing for them to do. What is it that you would say to them? What would you say to somebody who's in that position?
Yeah, I would say like it's normal that you don't know what's gonna happen, right? But I think you can make anyone successful with your program itself. It's also I'm also teaching some people like for IT services and etc. I know that if you go to calls every day and you learn something every single day and you just follow the system, you will be successful, right? You just need to work with the right people. Yeah.
Mhm.
With the people who already like taught so many people and they are closing like crazy, you just need to like adjust the same strategy for yourself
Yeah.
and that it will work. That's why like for this price, I would never think. Like I tell you honestly, for such a value, I would never think. But if someone cannot afford, like still, it's better to think in perspective of the opportunities that you're gonna get.
Mhm.
Like I was literally making like really like way less than right now. Yeah, and now I'm making such a huge amount of money that I close like every week like 5 clients or like 2, 3 at least clients. I see like it really worth it. Just
Mhm.
like ignore your fear and
Yeah.
say no, I'm just gonna jump on it and do my best, and it will work. That's it. And find the money, because it's like imagine like Nvidia 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like if I come and say Nvidia now costs like $10, you will find the money, right? So
Yeah.
think about this exactly like Nvidia opportunity for your
Yes,
business.
it's very true. And the other thing as well is, and obviously I'm a little bit biased because it's my product, but the product pays for itself because if sales is the bottleneck, you've got the appointments. As soon as you start closing deals, like you're making your money back immediately. But okay, very last question, and there doesn't necessarily even need to be an answer
Oh,
to
by the
this.
way, I will
Mhm.
interrupt you here. I made actually 20K in first 5 days. Do you remember?
Yeah,
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 that's crazy.
yeah. Well, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, so you did. Yeah, the return on investment was nuts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the very last question that I have for you, Sabir, is there anything that we haven't covered? Is there anything that I haven't asked you that perhaps you wanted to share? Absolutely fine if the answer is no, but I always ask it just in case.
Yeah, I think like it's really efficient if you are considering buying this course, like really like literally in my case, it was like in 1 week, I got my money like 5 times back. It was like I closed 20K deal, just one deal. And I got like four interested people, and from four, I closed one. So
Mhm.
I saw like influx immediately. Yeah, this just small changes, going 1 week intensively to course, watching all trainings. I saw immediate changes. So that's why like that's the only thing. Like if someone is really considering that and want to improve sales skills, it's definitely like I recommend you everyone, man.
Fantastic. Well, look, bro. Again, very, very excited to see where you go from here. It's
Yeah.
interesting because you've made such massive progress in such a short period of time. Right before the bottleneck was appointment booking, you fixed that. Then the bottleneck was sales. You fixed that. Now I expect the bottleneck is just actually being able to scale up operations, fulfillment, all of that type of stuff. But I have a feeling you're probably going to get that fixed pretty quickly too. So I'm excited to see where you go from here. But brother, I appreciate you jumping on, and I will speak to you soon.
Yeah. Thank you so much.